Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a full review and demo of the OPI press-on nails. You guys know that I love press-on nails. I've done a bunch of reviews on my channel and I just had to share these with you guys because the glue is like cement. These last the longest on my nails by far. I would say if I didn't take them off at 3, almost 4 weeks, they do not come off. These nails stayed on like salon quality. They are not gonna come off. They're not gonna budge. So today we're gonna break down everything. If you've been debating between OPI or Grande or BTR box, I'm gonna go over everything. I'm gonna go over all the features and benefits and how these compare specifically to those other two brands that I love and that I wear all the time. So we're gonna move into the application of this beautiful shade. I picked a shorter one this time. The one thing about the OPI is they don't have as many different options as BTR box and Grande do and some of the other brands do, but the options they have are absolutely fantastic. So before we do the application, I'm just gonna give you some quick highlights that I wanna mention about the nails specifically. So all the nails are pre-shaped, pre-polished, they're gloss. They're similar to salon quality nails, so very similar to what you would get with the other nail brands. They're not flimsy at all, like some of the other nail brands are a little bit more on the thinner side, and the curve is very natural. So if you have a flatter nail bed, that is one of the main things that I hear about brands like Grande, that it's a little bit more curved. And I have some tips on how I get around that in those videos, especially like my thumbs. I have more of a flat nail bed. So I do have to use like an adhesive tab first and then the glue to kind of build it up to fill in that curve. Because if you can't get glue under there and there is a curve, it's gonna create obviously a lift in the middle. And you're leaving bacteria and all kinds of crap, water to get underneath there and pop the nail off, so they're not gonna last as long. But these are very comfortable. They fit very natural, I think, with most nail beds. And the reviews are incredible on these. I don't know why I waited so long to try these. This is the third box that I bought. So in the box, it comes with all the other nail prep that all of the other brands come with. And it also has all like the signature shades from OPI. Lincoln Park After Dark, this one, and Isn't It Grand Avenue. So there's a bunch to choose from. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get into the application and then we'll get into the benefits and then we'll do a little comparison. I'll also touch on removal because with these, it is a little different because the glue is hardcore, and then of course, final thoughts. So let's get going. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of this packaging. Very easy, has everything all together. It's almost like a little Christmas gift kit. I don't know how to explain it. So I do love that it came with this little card. So it has everything you're gonna need. It has the directions, it has the alcohol prep pad, the file, the cuticle pushback, the glue, and this glue again is like cement. The only other thing I use is those cuticle scissors, and I'll show you in a second. So there's 30 nails in this pack, so you will find something. What I do is just quickly go through and remove the really big nails and the really small nails. Just helps to cut out the guesswork so that you're not worrying about what's gonna fit and what's not gonna fit. So once you find the nails on the card there, you can see it states like every single nail. So you just go ahead and you put it down and you find the other matching numbers. So these nails are numbered. Since this color is very dark, it is kind of hard to see the numbers, but it's not too bad. Like if you were to take your phone flashlight and shine it, you could easily find the numbers. So I keep on going, and just keep in mind that there could be 2 different sizes that could work for your nail. You just want to pick the one that completely covers the whole nail. You don't want it hanging over the edge, and you don't want it to be like not big enough. So if you need to file it, you can always file it. So then this way, once it's on, it'll be like a vacuum seal with the glue, and that's the way you're gonna get the longest wear. So what I like to do is just pack up the rest of the nails that could work, just in case one does pop off. I'll have a backup, and then I just discard the ones that don't fit. They're not gonna fit. I just put them in the garbage. There's no point in hanging on to something you can't use. So next up, we do the cuticles. I push back all of my cuticles. Sometimes I will use the Sally Hansen cuticle remover, and that's basically where you just put the product on the cuticle and then it loosens it up and you can just kind of pull it away. But I like to do it this way, like every other time, and then just gently go in and trim your cuticle. And I really like that this file comes with a buffer and a file. So you have a 2-in-1. Some of the other ones don't have that. that. So I just gently file it down, especially around like the edges, because you don't want your natural nail to be sticking out. And then you want to rough them up a little bit so that the glue will stick better. And then I just buff them out, and then you can see kind of how they look. I don't beat them up too bad. Some people really get in there. I just kind of just do a little bit. So once you get used to doing this process, it goes by faster, but I wouldn't say that it only takes, like people say, 5 minutes. That's a lie. So take that alcohol pad now and rub your nail beds. It's going to remove any oils, any gunk, and it's going to prime your nails for the glue to lay down perfectly. Now, I've been doing this for years, and I will say that there's a specific way you want to do it. You want to coat the nail, and you want to coat your nail bed. Put it down at a 45-degree angle, hold it down on the nail for 20 seconds. As you can see, these nails are thick. They are robust nails. They're not going to break. They're not going to bend, nothing. And when I say coat the press-on nail, do not coat the whole nail. Only coat the part that is going to be laying on your nail bed. People have done that where they've coated the whole nail and it became a mess. So use that stick and go around the edges, and it'll just clean up any excess glue that has spilled over the sides as you're getting used to this. And then you'll find out like a sweet spot of how much glue to put down, because you want to put down glue, but you don't want to put like globs of it down. You want to do a nice even coat on both your nail and the press-on nail, but you don't want to put too much where it's spilling over the sides and making a mess, because then you're going to risk gluing your fingers. I've definitely done that before. It's a rookie move. You don't even realize you're doing it, and then you mistakenly glue your fingers. So look at how pretty. Look at that high shine. Let's do the other side. I'm going to speed through this, and then we'll finish the video. These are so pretty. Love the shape, love the length. Look at how hard they are. All right, I'm back and the nails are on. I have not gone for this shape yet. It is a short square shape. I'm sure there's like an actual shape, so I will put it up on the screen, but I love this. It'll be easy to type with. It still has some length, but it's nothing too crazy. Normally I'll go with like an almond, short or medium almond, which I really like. This is bringing me back to the 90s with this shape. I love it though. So as far as longevity goes, these nails will last you that full 3 weeks. No question in my mind, unless something happens where your nail gets like ripped off, like in any other situation, if you got your nails done at a salon and you really damage the nail, but they are not gonna pop off. This glue is no joke. And I am not gentle with my nails either. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm constantly like cleaning and scrubbing things and getting in there. And I've never had an issue with these nails coming off. And the shine is gorgeous. I will say that the shine did last. It didn't chip, it didn't wear off. I do have one little scuff mark that I got on this nail already, but it was my own fault. I kind of glued my finger onto the nail, which is a rookie mistake, something that I haven't done in a long time. But if you are new to doing your nails, you're gonna do that. You have to be very careful. Like I was saying during the demo, you want to coat the nail and you want to coat the press-on nail with glue, even coat. But if you apply too little, it's not going to be enough. And if you apply too much, it's going to leak over or get on your other fingers. And there's going to be that chance where you are going to mistakenly get glue on the nail, which is going to leave like a little mark. I don't want to put acetone on it and mess with the finish. I can probably just scrape it off, but that was my own mistake there. So these are going to look professionally done. And like I showed you, you can hear that. They are hard, they are thick, they are hard, they are not flimsy. They look like you got your nails done and they were $15. Let's do a quick comparison now. I love BTR box nails. They are some of my favorites. You guys know I also love Grande nails. So BTR box nails, they have more designs. The nail itself is a bit thinner than the OPI and the Grande, but it's not like they're flimsy. They're by no means flimsy. They're just not as thick. but they're not as thin as, say, kiss nail press-ons or static nail press-ons. They're a nice option if you don't want something as thick, but I'm saying like you probably really wouldn't even notice. If you were just to compare the nails, you could see the difference, and during the wear, they just are not as thick. And I will say that Glamnetic and the BT Art Box on my nails, I don't know if it's the glue or the shape and like how it fits perfect over my nail bed. Again, if you have more curved nails, you may do really well with Glamnetic. I love Glamnetic, don't get me wrong. It's just with my thumb, I have more flat nail beds and my middle finger, and I have a hard time with those two nails, but I'm still able to get them on with no trouble. It's just the OPI ones, for me to take them off, I'm having to use like heavy equipment. It's not just like they're gonna pop off or I can easily soak them. You're gonna have to do a little bit more work to get them off. So as far as the removal goes, you're gonna have to remove these with an acrylic remover or a heavy nail glue remover. I noticed that I would like soap them with soapy hot water, but it did take me a good 2 days to get them off because I just didn't have time to soak them. Now, sometimes with the BT Art Box and the Glamnetic, I can just use that nail remover and just do a little bit of wiggling, take the little nail stick, and I can get them to pop off a little bit easier. If you break one of these nails, which happened to me, my pinky got stuck in, you know, like the laundry vent thing where you pull the lint out. My nail got jammed and stuck and it bent back and it ripped off my natural nail. So this is very, very strong. I just want to reiterate that. Extremely strong. And I did have to wear a Band-Aid. Very similar to when if you were to go to the nail salon and you were to break a nail or crack a nail, it's that hardcore on your nail that it's going to damage your regular nail if you try to just rip them off. So you do have to be careful. You can even throw in a little cuticle oil or acetone and it's gonna loosen them right up. So even with the Glamnetic and the BT Art Box, a lot of people, they have a hard time removing them. I've heard it's hard to remove them. I've heard they don't stay on my nails and they pop off. So you kind of just have to try out some of the brands and see what's gonna work for you. I will say that the OPI nails, they do have amazing, amazing reviews across all platforms. And it's a super glossy finish. So again, not as many patterns, not as much variety as you're gonna get with those other brands, but it's a robust, legit press-on nail. But if you're looking for like black or a deep purple or a French, they do have some like tortoiseshell I wore. It was gorgeous, super pretty, but they just don't have as much variety. I wish that they would add more because I think that their press-ons are absolutely phenomenal. When I wore the tortoise, they were like, let me see your nails. And they thought for sure I had them done. And when I said, no, I just do press-ons, like I'm not going to the salon and I'm afraid of that drill that they use, they're shocked. So to spend that amount of money and have them last, mine were on for 3+ weeks, it's just a no-brainer. Some final thoughts on the OPI nails. If you want your nails to look salon quality, super high-end, and they're gonna survive all the cleaning tasks and so on and so forth, they are right up there at the tippy top with all of my favorites. So let me know down below in the comments what nail brands you recommend. I'm gonna tell you real quick what I've tried. Glamnetic, Kiss, OPI, Static Nails, BT Art Box, Glamour Made, Olive and June, like the instant press. What else? I feel like I'm missing one. Maybe not. And then I've tried a lot of cheaper Amazon brands that were $4 and they're just super thin. But if I am missing one that you highly recommend, let me know down below because I would love to try it and do a review and demo video on it. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. I do a ton of videos on cleaning, beauty reviews, all different lifestyle, organization, all random stuff, kind of whatever comes to my mind that week and excites me. So I hope this was helpful and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.